The referee has ruled that he was a wrist or elbow in the face against on Hadley, and a free kick against Barrow. Ball on here, says the referee, leave that one. Telling the Barrow players to get back. Tony Conroy, first drive. Ryan Blaze. Now Kenny almost threw from that little short pass. He did well to hold it, in actual fact, against the tackle. Oh dear, he was almost completely through then, Cassidy. Oh yes, fell to get to Tex Evans. Oh, he's not given it now. Beautiful bit of play, but the referee has ruled that one of the passes was forward.
But what enterprising play from Salford that time. They, first of all, it was Fell who made a bust. He had Evans with him, and when I thought Evans had nowhere to go, he had two men in support. First it was Gilfillan, and then Gibson. But unfortunately, one of the passes was ruled forward. An offside given against the Barrow player from that scrum.
This is nothing going for Barrow at all. They lost that the heel there, and then the big number 15, the substitute, came out of the pack in an offside position and dived on the ball. Now here's Ian Sherratt driving for the line. No, held up short. Salford will perhaps do this again and then put a move on. That ball was lost in that play, and there's a scrum down again with Barrow to feed. They've got to. Now there's a drive over there. There was a controversial try at Bradford from that against Wigan a couple of weeks ago. That was a pack driving over and forcing Barrow to kick the ball dead and a drop out.
Yes, and I think it also demonstrated the extra strength that the Salford pack has over their Barrow counterparts, because they pushed them back about 5 yards, I think, on that occasion. Just a break in the play where Salford making two changes. Ian Sherratt and Arthur Bradshaw going off. Hadley's going in the second row. Hansen's on, and Paul O'Neill for the first time for the first team this year.
Yes, Paul O'Neill's coming here onto the left wing. Shane Hansen's on. A good thinking there by the coaches. They're 34 points up. They're playing against 12 men. They can afford to give players rest. Oh. And that was another good move by Frank Cassidy there, almost completely breaking the line. And Guildford has just gone to stroll through a gap there from that play the ball. And that's, how many tries is that, Steve?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 tries so far. We've only had half an hour's play, and we've got 38 points on the board. But that again was Salford with that. With the game, it was a practice session for them almost. There was absolutely nowhere for Gilfillan to go then, because he was totally surrounded by Barrow cover. But by a little jink, he saw a gap and then was positive enough to go forward and had a run in for the line. 38 points to 0. We're looking forward, I think, to seeing what the newcomer can do, O'Neill. On a day like today, he's going to get plenty of chance to show what he can do, and we'll see what Hadley can do in the pack. He certainly is a strong man himself and could add even more strength and pace to the pack. Oh, that was very unlucky. Hard luck, Kerry, with that goal.
And Barrow once again kicking off. The ball bounced forward, but Evans takes the pass from Felt. Immediately tackled. Shane Hansen into action. Big rangy New Zealander. And there's Tony Conroy's effective drive forward. There's Hadley going through the middle now from playing in his forward position. Oh, beautiful by Cassidy there, Gilfil, and then it's Paul O'Neill taken into touch for his first run. I think that's the first run he's ever had with the ball in the first team.
Yeah, and what a great start, because it wasn't the easiest of passes to take, but he took it well and he showed his pace. He went directly, but the Barrow cover was good enough on that occasion. I think in actual fact, if Cassidy had passed that ball inside, he had support there. I think it was Hadley who could have had the chance to go under the post. But as it is, what's happening here? A clear run in. Oh, that was Andy Burgess. The ball coming out against the head. Andy Burgess picking it up from loose forward, and the Barrow pack just watching him. Everything really is going for Salford today, and I don't know. I think this will have us looking for the record books. Jim, when did they last score 40 points in the first half? Have they ever done it before?
Well, no doubt there are people here who will know, and who eventually will tell us. But certainly that was another disaster for Barrow. It was their head and ball. The ball was in. Salford pushed them off it, and Andy Burgess took full advantage of the rule, which says that once the ball has come back behind the second row, a loose forward can pick it up. He did so and went over the line with it. Steve Kerry. Yes, that one's over. And that's half time.
No, it's not. No, it's only 34 minutes.
Oh, I'm sorry. There's a rival hooter somewhere in the ground. We thought I can assure you that when it is a half time, our official hooter man will let us know.
Yeah, the other thing that try showed yet again is the strength of this Salford pack. I mean, if you look at the Barrow team, they're no small people by any means. Their forwards look as big as the Salford lads, but it's the strength that you need, and that's what the Salford pack certainly has today. And that was a great push by their forwards at that scrum to enable them to get the ball.
Yes, of course, and of course they must be playing without a man in the pack, because and the hooker, it's the hooker that went off. So there's the a nice pass from, he's in touch. A nice pass there from Karazoma, who obviously is townie of Bob Tuaveo, who was here on loan at the beginning of the season. Another excellent forward, Tongan. But now can Barrow... he's given the free kick against Salford, which gives Barrow at least satisfaction of having a ball which they were not going to win. Steve Maguire going to kick for touch. And acting half-back decided to take it on his own. It looks to me as if Barrow are not quite sure what they're going to do here. It's this strange territory. Suddenly they're in 10 yards from Salford's line, and they may go over here with come up. Oh. Yes, he dived inside instead of keeping it along towards the wing, and now. Oh. Adrian Hadley did a good smother tackle there. The man was about, I think, to dummy. Oh, no, I don't think there was any reason at all to give a free kick for that. None whatever. Barrow driving it in here. It's trying to get on the scoreboard. And they've dropped the ball, and it's Cassidy who's come away with it. A good, bright move, but eventually fumbled.
Yes, it was good play from Barrow. They were playing with some purpose then. They were looking as though they really wanted to score on that occasion, and they were unfortunate that final pass just went to ground. But Salford doing what we know they're so capable of doing this year, and that is passing well and defending well. Oh dear, O'Neill unfortunately dropped that one. Now Salford doing what they've done so well all season, and that is tattle and tattle and tattle, and keeping the other team out is what wins matches. Here's Barrow to put the ball into this particular scrum with about 2 minutes to go to half time, and Salford win another one. Kerry's going down the blind side.
Oh, and Kerry's away there, and he's got Paul O'Neill with him. And Paul O'Neill's going to score under the sticks on his debut. Beautiful, and he loves it. Yes, a delightful dive over the line. Paul O'Neill scores his first try for Salford in this.
Oh, that was brilliant. That was Kerry, first of all, going down the blind side. I don't know how he managed to get around his man. He jinxed one way, then the other. He made the yards, and O'Neill, making up for his little mistake earlier of knocking on, raced up in support and ahead over the line. What a turn of speed that young lad's got. This is great. I mean, the question is, I suppose, whether Hadley would have been in that position. Well, it doesn't matter. O'Neill was, and he had the speed to go from 30 yards and score under the posts. There's two more, but wasn't he pleased to score under the post? He really made sure he dived over that line as if he was going to tunnel his way under the pitch. Great play, great start. Congratulations for a debut try for O'Neill.
And yes, Steve Kerry did well. You know, the ball was actually hooked by Barrow, and then it suddenly finished up coming out at Salford's side, and Kerry just whizzed through. 50 points to nil, and still not at the end of the first half. It is now. And I don't know when Salford were last leading by 50 points to nil at half time.
Great first half from Salford. The added dimension, oh, and how. I think one has to feel some sort of I feel a little bit sorry for Barrow, because they're down to 12 men and have been for most of the first half, and will play most of the game with 12 men. But Salford, for their part, have turned it on. Everything that they've done has come off, and what a position to be in. 50 points in the first half. We'll have to look in the record books to find out whether that's happened before. And now the question has to be, Jim, are they going to make it to the ton?
Well, we'll see. Certainly they will be trying to do that.
Peter, makes a change for you to see a game from up here. What do you think of this one?
Well, obviously it's quite an easy game at the scoreline of 50-0 at half time. I think that Barrow, they're probably struggling a little bit this year, and I don't think having the number 9 sent off in the first 10 minutes helped them.
No, do you think it was a fair dismissal?
Yeah, of course. He came through and he elbowed Frank Cassidy in the head with the other ball. It was a blatant foul, and he deserved everything he got.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. You must be able to see some of the moves that you work on in training coming off today. Can you tell us about any of them in particular?
Well, it's just one of those days where, unfortunately for Barrow, that the fellas seem to have started on the right foot, and we got a good start. We put a few points on them, and as I said, now being a man short, they're finding it very hard to contain us with their defence. I think it's just a good thing, in as much as the confidence a lot of the fellas, a lot of the things we've been trying a lot lately. It's hard, obviously, being a tall poppy in the second division. Everyone sort of tries to lift their game when they play you. And I just think that it's a great morale booster for the side to have such an easy game.
Absolutely right. Peter, and can we ask you, how's your injury recovering?
Oh, good. Last week against York, I damaged some ligaments and muscles in the top of my back and the bottom of my neck, and the doctor just advised me to have a week off, but I'll be back and available for selection next week.
Oh, well, that's good news for us all. And how are you enjoying your time over in England and at Salford in particular?
Oh, great. You know, I've really enjoyed the time I've had here. Unfortunately, I had some knees in the back a few weeks ago against Workington, and I copped this knock last week. But you know, my fitness is coming around quite well, and I'm happy with the way everything's progressing. And hopefully, with another game or two under my belt, I'll be back to a tip-top form.
Well, that's great. We're delighted. It's great we watch you up here, and it's great to have you on the team, and we wish you all the best. It's good of you to talk to us now. Thank you for that. We hope you recover quickly, and good luck for the rest of the season.
Thanks very much.
Thank you, Peter.
And Salford take the field for the second half, and yes, we knew that we would be told. There is no record at the moment of highest scores at half-time, but Salford's record score in a match was in 1907 against Liverpool City, 78 points to 0. They now lead Barrow at half-time here by 50 points to 0. So, Steve, do you think we may see that record go?
Well, I hope so. If they carry on playing like they have done in the first half, if they don't sit back, then there's no reason why they can't score another 50 points. All their attacks in the first half from Salford were very decisive. I think there were only 2 occasions when they didn't actually score when they had the opportunity to do so. So, well, 78 is going. If they don't make 78, that's going to be a disappointment. Let's keep our fingers crossed that they can make 100. And that really would be a record that will take a lot of beating, not just by Salford, but other teams in the second division.
Asquith passes the ball over to Kerry to start the second half. Kick off. Oh, knock on immediately. Disaster for Barrow at the start of the second half by Gary Kendall, the second row forward. And as I believe there's Conroy diving forward there. But not given the try.
Well, that was good play from Salford. They really have started off where they left off in the second half. 1 or 2 changes. Cassidy's gone off and Burgess has gone into the backs, Fells at standoff, and that try was disallowed because Gibson couldn't ground the ball cleanly and bounced it in the end, which is a shame because that would have certainly kept the scoring momentum going.
Yes.
9-11, Arthur's back on.
Salford now caught offside, but ringing the changes there. Oh yes, Arthur Bradshaw's come back on. Cassidy's gone off and Fell's gone to stand off, and Burgess is playing in the right centre here to check sevens. Tackled. Townsend the standoff to Marwood, the scrum half. Nice little move there. But Gibson knocks on.
Well, it's Barrow, in fact, who are now putting Salford under pressure. They've by no means given up. They worked well at that move and created a good opening that might well have seen them scoring. But he's hammed again, the Salford pack, pushing them off the ball, but this time a penalty to Barrow.
Yes, a penalty there, the Salford pack forward. And he scored, the standoff Townsend has scored direct from that play of the ball. Salford were not there at all. They were wandering about. Salford players had broken from the scrum before the ball was out, putting them in an offside position.
Well, that's the sort of incident that could well decide whether Salford create a record score or not. Barrow looking sharp then. It was quick thinking by standoff Townsend, and when the Salford he took the penalty very quickly indeed, and saw that there was a gap that the Salford players weren't perhaps concentrating as much as they had done in the past. Scored the try, and unfortunately there was no conversion. And not many people score tries against Salford this year, it has to be said. And Salford will come back now and hopefully carry on with their momentum.
Yes, Salford must just take the game as it comes and not be in too much of a hurry to do things that came about really because the Salford player wanted to pick the ball up instead of dropping on it when it was loose and saving it, trying to a bit over-eager to get on with this score. Kicked off. Oh, the man that time caught it, Gary Kendall. No mistake that time. Now then, nice break by Townsend, a dummy. And ball was dropped again by Salford.
Yeah, and there's Townsend again, playing ever so well. Townsend at that moment again dummied his cover. Kerry was covering back, couldn't. Unfortunately, the Barrow couldn't take the pass. But Kerry having the chance to drop on the ball, in fact knocked on, but Salford with the possession.
That was another one that Salford won against the head. Adrian Hadley tackle in midfield. Gilfillan going through there, yes. Good little half break. Yes, the ball went along the line, but little progress was made. Unfortunately, this is the last one now. He'll have to kick. Full-back trainer takes that ball. He's tackled well by Fell. Completed. No, he's got the ball away. Shane Hansen tackles the centre, Burns. Winger Neil Simpson coming in. Oh, that ball's gone backwards and they lose ground with that one. And Barrow player still walking back there. That's a bad sign. Oh, and Burgess gathers that dropped ball well. Kept his eye on it all the time, Burgess. Conroy going forward. Makes yards. Well, for Bradshaw, brings it to Shane Hansen. Hansen whips it out back to Bradshaw. And now Salford, they've got... oh, look at Fell there. Oh, he really should have passed there on the inside. He thought the dummy would do, but... yes, and that's a try there by Aidy Hadley. Playing in an unfamiliar role in the second row.
Yes, but showing why that he's a force there. He's got the strength as well as the speed to carry him over the line in those sorts of occasions. But that was a nice break from Fell in the move that led up to that, and Fell with men over on the right-hand side. Perhaps should have passed, but we can say that after the event. In fact, he chose to dummy, but then found himself tackled. But Gibson kept the move alive, and it was Hadley in the end who had the chance to stretch over and increase Salford's points tally. And Kerry's does the same, 56 points to 4.
Yes, Stephen Owen, number 10, is going off, and onto the field comes Neil Shaw. Is that 14? These kickoffs are well rehearsed by Barrow, just on the 10-yard line, and very difficult to take under pressure. Kerry to Shane Hansen, who turns a lovely little turn to get the ball away. Good tackle there by the number 12, Ian Cartmel. Ooh. And they've sharpened up their defence a little. They're moving into Salford players as they're getting the ball now. Oh, and there's Bradshaw, makes a nice break. And we've lost the ball from that. There's a bit of adventurous play from Bradshaw, throwing the ball back in that direction, and it was snapped up. The full-back trainer coming into the attack. There's 4 tackles. And that's 13, isn't it? Steve Maguire, the loose forward for Barrow's, coming more and more into the game in this half. He's obviously the general. And the linesman has ruled that the ball's gone over the dead ball line, which means that it will be a dropout. I think probably Steve Gibson put a foot over the dead ball line.
Yes, I agree with you, Jim, that Barrow actually looked sharper now than they did in the first half. And it was a very, very difficult kick for anybody to take that. And Gibson did well to field it and move it in his own direction so it wasn't a knock on. But unfortunately, put his foot on the line, thereby causing the dropout from under the sticks.
Crunching tackle there from Arthur Bradshaw. Running this ball about well now, but snuffed out there by Aidy Hadley, the full-back trainer. And Oh. Andy Burgess recovers from that barrow mistake. Oh, Harlem Globetrotter stuff here.